Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me today. We are, as always, looking at the DAX or the German 40 stock index market. It's the German index market. We've got about 15 minutes till open, and I've changed the layout of the depth of market or the order flow that we look at. So basically, I've got the micro DAX, which will be trading over here. I'll be trading that directly. So each contract will be about $2 movement instead of $5. Gives me a lot more leeway when I trade, so that I can get in and out of positions. I can build positions a little easier rather than only using the one contract and then being stuck in trades. Down below, I've got the mini DAX contracts. So basically that's the bigger version of the micro DAX. So I'll be trading in and out using this depth of market. I can see what contracts exist on the first or level 1 data, I should say. So I can get in and out as I need, but I can see the mini DAX order flow in this chart here. It's on a 5-minute, but I've also got the FDAX, the main DAX index. The reason I've done this is because I actually want to see what the big players are doing. I don't want to just look at what the smaller fish are looking for in the market, because ultimately it's the bigger money that will influence and filter down to the mini and the micro. So I've changed my setup so that I can see the DAX index and see what the bigger players are actually doing. It's going to have a bit more of an impact on my decisions, and I'll be able to understand a bit more about where the market should be heading, because we're going to have the institutional players getting in and out of the market. So we can see here we had 14 mini contracts here, but up on this one we had 20 main contracts. So it's a lot bigger. So a lot bigger players are getting into the market, and obviously that's reflecting and filtering down to the mini and the micro. But the essence of it is I'm going to see the full picture rather than an extrapolated version. So potentially the DAX index will react and have a different picture to some degree than the mini DAX, and I just want to have that instant feedback across both. I can obviously see what's going on in terms of the price on the micro, but I'm not so worried about seeing the actual order flow of this one, because it's simply a reflection of the mini and the main German stock index market there. As usual, I'll go through and do a bit of an analysis. So the order flow is what I look for the live trading, get a feel for who the buyers and sellers are and what their intentions might be by looking at the bid and the ask side orders and how many orders are at certain pricing. Also on this one, we've got the order, the volume profile, which gives me a bit of guidance as to where the market is happy trading just for today. At the moment, I don't use previous days volume profile. It's a bit more of a setup, and I'm not particularly sure that I need it at this point. Over on the pivot points, this is where I do my pre-market analysis. For those who follow along, you probably already know that, but what we've got is the full layout. We've got the pivot points or the cam levels all the way from S3 up to the R3. So those are the outermost extremities that I can kind of understand the market and what's going on. Outside of that, if the market pulls right away from that, I don't have anything to sort of work with. So I tend to not trade if the market's outside of these levels, other than the pre-market. There's a trade setup that I will show at some point when we get that set up, but at the moment we basically trade within these levels, and that's about it. We've got the high, where kind of close to the high, we've got the breakout long in the R1. I am expecting, which is what we're seeing right now, unfortunately the market's already pulling towards the target in pre-market. I don't want to trade in pre-market. I want to wait for the market open, because often we get a volatility spike that's not necessarily in line with the analysis that I do. So that's why I wait for that additional volatility, often it'll push me into a level that's a little bit more favorable compared to what I'm normally doing. So, or like the pre-market orders, I should say. Target will be either the pivot or the close. They're very close together, so the pivot would be more than enough. If in the next 10 minutes though, if that market pulls right down, the risk reward is going to be skewed against us. So I want this market to hold up around this breakout long in R1, or even up around this high level. If it just continues down lower in the pre-market over the next 10 minutes or so, it's going to detract from the target, the profit amounts and that kind of thing. So if it can just stay high, I'll wait for a rejection and then get in. I don't want to get in just yet, but I also don't want the market to go towards our target, which again is the close or the pivot. So basically we're looking for the market to hopefully push up and go down at the open. Just going to check out the Bollinger Bands. We did have a bit of a rejection off the high on the 5 minute, the high band and the high price from yesterday. And as you can see, the market is heading south, which is what we want it to do when the market opens. We'll have a look at the other time frames. So we've got a 15 minute, kind of central, not really anything. Obviously, if we break above the high, that could be a rejection point. Might spike through that and then come back down. Just good to be aware of what's going on. Also on the downside, if we kind of get halfway to the pivot and the close, we might be kind of held up by this Bollinger Band to the low side. So getting out, we may just want to check the 15 minute to see if we're seeing a rejection off this lower Bollinger Band down here. Bollinger Band settings are, just see if I can open that up. So we've got 3 and 30 period and 2.2. Obviously you can set your settings however you like. We've got big order there, 31. So that's looks like buying there. I'm not sure of the positioning, but yeah, it looks like quite a decent size order in the pre-market. Could be fund managers or investment managers getting their orders into the market, hoping for a push up and then exit their position when they need to. So we'll go up to the 30 minute now. Bollinger Band's getting away on the upside. Nothing to worry about on the downside. Obviously, we'll probably be out of the trade before it gets anywhere near that. But something to keep in mind if we were to hold all the way down to this triple band down the bottom here. I can't imagine I'd want to hold all the way down there though. On the 1 hour, we are kind of up around the resistance. You kind of can see a bit of visual resistance. We've got a big wick here. Had a couple of candles above this price now a few days ago, but basically it pushed right down. We had a really bearish kind of momentum after that point. So hopefully that resistance will hold. We might get a little push up at the open, and yeah, that's adding to the fact that we may go lower. On the H4, very similar to the H1 in terms of seeing that wick. So that was a wick, that was a wick, and we may see another wick, or alternatively the market could push through. So we've got to be aware of both sides of the market. In terms of the Bollinger Band, it's very similar to, I think it was a 30 minute. It's kind of just up in the middle between the high and the R2. Same as the H1 really. But other than that, nothing particularly. It looks like we might be ranging for a little bit. We had this big push down, and then unless we break above this and don't form a wick on the, say, 4 hour or the daily, we'll probably be looking to go short based on, I guess, what's happening in the price action here. So it's been bearish, and then we've kind of hit that lower Bollinger Band, come back up, and now we're at the the kind of high of the range of the last few days with these wicks forming adds to the point that we may go short. So we're just building a picture. We've got about 5 minutes till the open, so we can continue assessing where the market might go. On the weekly, we've had 1, 2, 3 down weeks in a row. We are Tuesday today, I believe. And so far, so yesterday we had a bullish day and it's a green candle at the moment. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to continue that way based on the other analysis that we've seen, but we've got to be aware of all situations, so long and short. We don't want to get into the trap that our way is the only way. The ultimate guider is the actual market and the participants within it. It kind of looks like this weekly current position is very central to this range. So the top and the bottom of all of these candles within this kind of circle that I'm circling at the moment, it's very in the middle. So I'm hoping that will form a part of our favor where it's bouncing off this midline and going to hopefully take us short down towards this close gap on the 24th of June as well. I won't be looking to go that far because obviously Apex Trader funding, we want to get in and out, we want to get some profit and head towards our target. As I said yesterday, we did have a big loss last week and I'm grinding my way back towards the target. We had a couple of wins, but we're still making our way back to that break-even level. So we've got about $393 thereabouts to get to break-even and then start heading towards that target. Because we were in profit of about $300, our trailing drawdown is a little bit tighter than if we were to start at break-even, but that's okay. That's part of, I guess, the game when it comes to Apex Trader funding. You've got to be skilled enough to navigate your way out of these losing situations, get yourself into that profit area and go at it with a bit more confidence later on. So this is the tricky part that we're in. We want to get the evaluation complete. We want to navigate the markets and improve our skill along the way. And that's why I'm running these sessions. Also, we do have a free account still available. So get active in the chat if you are there. Just, let me know you're there, have a bit of back and forth, and I'll announce the winner, whoever's sort of a bit active, and you can get in touch and basically get that free account. It's a free evaluation, any size, any platform with Apex Trader funding. So I announced that at the end of the session. On the monthly, so we've had a couple of bearish months there, so it's hanging very close. So we've had 4 months of not really going anywhere. But this month so far, over 10 days, we are sort of heading down from that open price. It's just good to be aware of all the different time frames. I'm going to go back to the 5 minutes. And let's hope we get a nice strong push up to probably the high. I don't know if I want to get in at the R1 or the breakout long, just because of this price action. It broke through fairly easily. Again, I don't want to get in too early. This is something that I often do. So I want to be patient. I want to wait for the right setup and let the order flow of both of these markets take me in. Good morning, Trek Lord. Thanks for coming back. Great to see you again. Unfortunately, so we've got 30 seconds to go till open. This market is pushing down. So sometimes in this sort of scenario, the market could just simply push right down to the pivot and the close gap. If I do see an opportunity to get short with a bit of confidence, I may take it. But I don't know that I want to. I'd love to see a nice strong push higher before I get in. We're seeing a bit of a retracement on that short, and that's selling off pretty heavily. Need a big strong push up, if I get some serious contracts up higher, it'll give me the confidence to press the button. But just for now, I don't want to get in at the bottom of this kind of ranging area, because if we go all the way up to this high again, I'm going to be in a bit of strife. So I'm just watching now the order flow to determine where the market might head. If we start barreling down, I may get in just for a light contract, but ultimately I want to wait until we get up to this high, unless something else says otherwise. If we break this activity here, it didn't break this low, but it's not over yet. So I'm just watching the order flow to see if there's an opportunity. If we break this, I'm probably just going to get in very light so that I can allow the market to go all the way back up here without taking too much heat. But if it breaks this structure here, I kind of don't want to miss this move, because that's a very, very bearish candle. We'll see what happens. Just get my depth of market in position. Just looking for any indication that we might turn back long or continue short. I'm glad your trading went well yesterday. This is what I was watching out for. So I didn't want to get short in case this kind of activity occurred. But I'm not sure that we'll get all the way back up to where I wanted to originally enter. We'll see. But yeah, best of luck in repeating yesterday's trading conditions. That may be it. Tempted to have a go here. Because of these big orders, so there's quite a bit of order flow here, and this may just be a bit of a rejection. So now I just want the market to say, okay, we're actually going short, we're not going long anymore, and I'm going to get in if I can see that opportunity. Still going up, just want to be patient. Aggressive selling here, I'm going to hit the button just in case. We may continue up higher because we didn't have a big limit order to push us back down, but we're only in for one contract, so it's actually only $1 per movement here, or $1 a point. So I can let the market go against me quite a distance. You can see the balance up here is moving. It's only $1 either way every time it moves. And if it does go higher, I'm going to increase my position size to get a better fill and add to the volume that I'm trading. So we've got 21 contracts here. If we get a nice bit more of a push up, I'd be very happy to start getting in. But if we start pushing down, yeah, I'm going to get in a bit more just at market. I think that's the indication I was kind of after. Just waiting for the market to kind of get active now and head towards our close gap. Make me very happy. If we do pull back higher, I'm going to probably get in a couple more contracts. I'm in 3 at the moment, so we're only at $3 a point. So we're still not even at 1 contract's worth of the mini. So that's important to note. So the mini and the micro. I'm just looking to build a good position, and that way I'm not getting in too early all in 1 contract and then I have no room to move. So I'm quite happy with trading on the micro. I can trade up to 40 contracts or something, I think. We're starting to head south now. I think if we can get another little push up so I can get more volume in, that would be great. But also at the at this lesser value, I'm probably a bit more happy to let these trades run. I can think a bit more clearly. The trailing drawdown doesn't squeeze me as much. If it goes in my favor, it's not going to whip into profit and then come and squeeze me out on it, even if I'm at break even. So I can ride the wave of volatility a lot easier. So I don't have to make quick decisions to the extent I did trading the minis, particularly with only the 25k account. So it's having a bit of a think. I'm hoping this is limit orders, which means it would be selling, people selling the market. But if that isn't, then it's aggressive buying, people hitting the ask side to get into the market long. That would have been a good opportunity to get in short for more contracts, but it wasn't very big volume. So just writing this one out. Treklord, are you trading the DAX in this session, or are you still looking at the US market? Just watching this order flow play out. We've got 9 contracts on the mini DAX as a limit. Looks like probably limit selling because it's right on this pivot point area. But no major indication on the full DAX contracts that we're going to go short. It's a bit more active there. I've already got 3 contracts. I'd ideally like to wait to see a bit more of an impulsive push up to the previous day's high during market hours. So if we do break through this little area, I wouldn't mind getting some more volume into the market. It may not happen. So that 12 could be aggressive selling. It's quite a bit stronger than the 8 up here. So just seeing what's going on. So the market's kind of fiddling around here. It's not really taking a direction just yet. And it's just about being patient, I think, at the moment, just waiting for the market to fall lower. To buy the Eurex data subscription so that you can trade the FDAX Mini, Micro and Full. I think, so what you do is you go up, I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but you go up the top here in your Tradovate platform, go to application settings. And when you click that, it will take you over to subscriptions and you can add, so it's the Eurex. I can't remember how much it is. I think it's about $20 odd per month, but it does give you all of this order flow across these markets. And for Apex, it does give you access to be able to trade that market, because without it, you can't actually interact with the market on the Apex account. Starting to head lower here, very thin volume. So hopefully that's an indication we'll continue dropping. There's nobody there to buy it back, and the market will keep looking for a support area based on order flow. We're starting to build up. That could be limit buying here, but I am hoping that's just aggressive selling, being like, all right, we've seen a good push down, we're going to keep going lower. Again, guys, not financial advice. I could be wrong. This is just sharing my experience of trading the Apex Trader Funding Challenge. We're currently sitting at about $70 odd in profit for today. This total P&L down the bottom here is in euro, I think, or either that or there's a delay. I think there's a delay between these two. So I'm just waiting this out. I do hope it does push down, but the market doesn't seem as confident with any particular direction just yet. So for those of you who have been watching along, I did add the volume profiles or the order flow for the full DAX and then the mini DAX, and then I'm trading on the depth of market with the micro DAX. So if you're noticing some discrepancies from yesterday and between these charts, that's what I've done. And the reason for that is so that I can see what the bigger players on the full index are doing. So that's the great thing about the futures market. It's a centralized exchange, meaning that all orders must flow through the exchange itself. It's not like the CFD brokers who they have their own business, they know their book, but nobody else is seeing that book separately. The futures are all through one place, so you know where the true market is going. 7 contracts there. I'm hoping this is some limit order action. And we're just waiting for an indication to maybe take a bit more volume if we get up to this high. Again, with the DAX, if we start rallying super hard, I want to jump out, because basically the DAX does have a tendency to just power on. We don't want to risk going too ballistic on the long side. If we've got a short position, I don't want to hold it for too long. Let's see if I can do a bit of a recap from yesterday while we wait for this market to figure out what it's doing. So yesterday, what did we have? Just drop this down a little bit so I can see where we're at. Okay, so we opened $10. Okay, so yesterday we had a little push up. I think I sold it and got out pretty quickly. I made about $16 because I only used one contract. CME bundle. No, I don't think it's a CME bundle. Level 1, because you actually get level 2 data with this one. I'll see if I can send you a screenshot. Did you want to email me? I'll see if I can send you a screenshot of what I'm looking at, just to see if sometimes Tradovate has different country-based rules and requirements. So maybe depending on where you're from or some other reason, you may not see the same thing I'm looking at. Might be a different version of web browser even. So if you want to email me, I'll just type it in and I'll see if I can send you a screenshot. Just typing my email into the chat. So you're looking for the Eurex. I think I'm pretty sure it does say Eurex on the actual product, somewhere in subscriptions. Bit of a push up. If we can break all of this wick structure here, I'll be very happy. There's not a particular reason why we shouldn't go down towards the pivot at least, and even the close gap, or potentially it's a bit of a spread out situation, but we kind of have a triple band situation where the market will often range between this set of 3 bands up here and the set of 3 bands down here, obviously filling that gap as it bounces between the two. The reason I'm not particularly convinced that that is the case today is because it's quite spread out. So these lines aren't squished in, they're not really tight together. So it means that if the market has to go all the way down to this breakout short, it's not as strong as when it's really tight. Thanks, trader. Is it done? Thanks for coming to watch. We'll see how we go today. I do hope we go towards the close gap today. I need a bit more patience, I think, to see this one out. But thanks so much for coming along. So 7, I'm hoping that's a limit order. Somebody's saying, all right, let's send this market lower. But perhaps it wasn't. It may have been aggressive buying. So it's really just a waiting game at the moment. Just seeing what the order flow looks like across the two different futures contracts. See if there's any indication that we're going to move in a particular direction so that I can make a better decision. That looks like aggressive selling to me, I'm hoping. Because why would people be buying limit orders here? That looks like what we're after. I'm going to add a contract. We're only at 4 contracts. I can probably add another one which will eventually just match the mini DAX. Thank you, I had to go. And we've broken out of that structure, so I'm just going to hit another sell contract there. Hopefully that big 25 contract on the mains, plus all of this potential limit, that could have been stops and things like that have been, I guess, taken out. Hopefully that'll turn the market around. Alternatively, the market may just power up and ignore all of this pivot point activity. So I've got to be really, I guess, careful here. We're at the moment, we're $100 down, but we're at the top of where we kind of want to get in. We're at breach that Bollinger Band there. We just want to see the market power down. So break even is just at this 855. Current market's at 869 or thereabouts. So if we can get a bit of momentum lower, I'll be very happy. But this activity here looks to me like that's a very big aggressive sell. Whole heap of stops might have been taken out. Just basically trying to paint a picture of what's actually happened. That 33, I'm not too sure what that's telling me. So I'm really focusing on this activity up here and hoping this 33 isn't a big buyer saying, right, we're going to send the market long. That's my only concern with this contract or price here. Just really need the market to push down, head towards this pivot or close gap from this point. If we kind of hover around for too long and build I guess a base as a low for these pricing areas, there's every chance the market could just go long. So we'll see how we go. There we go. So we've got 5 contracts short. And we're just going to hopefully watch this go short. We've got quite a strong wick here, which is indicative that there's an impulsive move long and it hasn't stuck. And now the market's going to hopefully respect that and say, right, we're going to send it lower. We've taken out the weak hands with the stop hunt, I guess you would call it, with 13 contracts and then another 12 up higher. It's not letting me zoom in, but that's what I'm hoping, the kind of story, that's what I'm hoping has happened. Just basically building a story of all the different traders in the market, in this centralized exchange. What are they thinking? What their mindset is, what their reasoning is. And we'll see if these pivot points here can hold. If that can hold and we get some momentum short, I'll be very happy. The concern that I have as well is that we are above the breakout long, which is I guess a breakout level. which means the market would ideally continue long for the remainder of the day. But I think because of this wick, if I go to the 4 hour as well, we've had a few wicks and it's just rejected straight off that. Hopefully today isn't the day where we have a really strong breakout day after all this 4 hour structure. Hopefully it ranges back within itself and at least getting to this pivot. I'm not going to sit around and wait to hit the low of the range, because the nature of the Apex Trader funding is that trailing drawdown is a bit of a squeeze, so you've got to get in and out when you can. We're really building though, and it may not be my day, so we'll see. Awesome, Trek Lord. I'll keep an eye out for that, and I'll send you a screenshot of what I'm looking at just to see if you've got any version differences or something like that. It may be in another section as well. I'll just have to double check that while I'm not running live. This kind of looks like buying, building up a little bit, so I'm not stoked about that. So it's a 5-minute candle. We're at 521. I'm hoping this isn't the formation of a strong bullish day. Just trying to understand, I guess, what these contracts are doing. So whether they're aggressive buying on the ask side, or if they're limit orders, so limit sells. But basically, because this hasn't held up and completely rejected, I am concerned now that the market may just power up. We haven't got much in the way of a stop. So basically, if we break this structure, I'm going to have to exit the position, because I'm not going to let it go all the way up to this R2. It'll just be simply too much. So I'm better off exiting and coming back to trade another day. So we're 22 minutes in. Obviously, sometimes the market does take a while to head in my direction, and that is something that while trading live, I've picked up that often if I wait it out, the market does what I think, but I'm not patient enough. Also, the fact that I often get in too early. I haven't necessarily done that too much in this trade. The entry has been somewhat okay. And it's just about perhaps being patient and letting this market go towards the target. Do you guys have any questions in the audience? Just let me know any questions as you go, and I'll answer them when the market has a bit of a cool patch. Also, Trader Dan, if you would like a free Apex account, I've got my email address there. Just send me an email and let me know who you are in the email, and I'll send you a free account code so that you can pick up a Apex Trader funding, any size, any platform. Yeah, the waiting game is not my strong point, particularly whenever I wait, it seems to go the wrong direction. And we're heading up. If we break through this, I am concerned that it will just power up really quick. Oh, hey, Fighting Futures, did you get my email with the free account code? Thanks for joining. I had a bit of a delay on getting that back to you, but it should be in your emails if you haven't seen it already. Okay, I'm probably just going to get out of this. I don't want to hang around in this one for long at all. It's just going to power up. Fingers on the button. Just going to exit at market. I might actually change this to 5 contracts. We're in a sell, so what I want to do to get out, I might set a limit at the 188. So I'll right click on the bid side. Now that's basically set a stop loss. If we come up and touch that, I'll be out. I'll lose about 188 for the day. No worries at all. I'm glad you got that one. Sorry for the delay as well. Now this market either has to hold or go in my direction. We'll see either way, but I've got my stop loss in. I've seen the market condition kind of, I don't want to stay in this any longer because we're in no man's land up here. It could just continue long. I trade the FTSE as well, so the UK 100. It just depends on the layout for these pivot points. Often one or the other will have a stronger indication of what's going on in the market. So I do trade both markets. I trade other things too, but I look at shares and that kind of stuff. But I've got some algorithms as well on the Forex markets, but I don't like to manually trade the Forex markets. I really like to rigorously test any Forex trading that I do and have it all completely automated. But I enjoy the DAX because I can get in and out generally fairly quickly. Often I would be done, if the market respects what I'm doing, I'll be done within a couple of minutes, but it's sort of been a bit slower to play out what I was hoping for a lot of the time of late. Looks like aggressive buying at these high levels to me, but just wait and see. I do have my stop in, so I'll get out for a loss. Worst case, I don't want to sit there and let it run beyond that point like I did the other day, because that's how I got into this situation originally. I am hoping though that we do have a nice strong push down, at least to sort of this 23,810. That would be excellent. So really now it's just a matter of waiting it out. Trader done. Obviously send me an email if you're still there. But otherwise, guys, I'll probably close it up there. Really, I'm going to get out at this level, or if it runs short, I'll be watching and take an exit. But I've got to remember, one tip is come and close this order off, because if I close the market up here, when I get into profit, this order will stay in the market. So let's say it retraces all the way back up. It's going to enter me into a buy trade. And then I'll be long and I won't even know. Obviously, if I forget about the order, I wouldn't even know that I was in the trade, which can be really costly. So at the end of each session, before I shut it down, I always hit exit at market and cancel. So it cancels any orders that I've put potentially as a stop or a target that I might have forgotten about along the way, or perhaps a misclick. But anyway, guys, best of luck with your session. So yeah, send me an email. I have a free account for you if you'd like it for Apex Trader Funding. It's an evaluation, free for a month. I can send you a code. You can get any size account on any platform with Apex Trader Funding. And yeah, just because you jumped in the chat, all these other guys have already won a free account. So you're the winner today. And if you send me an email, I'll give you the code. You can go and get that free account. So it's obviously an evaluation, and hopefully you'll pass that one within the month. So as I mentioned as well, I'm going to leave the session. I've got my stop in up here. If it goes up here, I don't want to be in the trade. But if we go into profit, I'm going to close the position and remember to go and cancel this trade up here. Oh, it was in the chat up a little bit higher, but I'll just retype it. Support. Just send the email there, and I'll send you the code reply. I'll probably do it tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to jump out now and leave you to it. Hoping for the market to get down to this pivot. If it goes anywhere above this price, I'll be out of the market. Have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.